Everybody is Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Rona this week. This is it, the 200th episode of Bring the Pain. Woo! Oh, man, we're having blow the streamers, hit the things, cue the music. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. I've been waiting all day to do this, all week to do it. I've been so excited to do it. So I'm trying not to be all crazy. There's gonna be no hate in this game, this one at all. I mean, I'm in a happy, good mood. So bear with me. You'll get my Macho pick of the week. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And you're gonna get so much more. And then stay tuned for my Ultra Contrarian Show, episode 201. Oh, yeah. And we're gonna get right to it. Yeah. All right. The Bears and the Panthers met on a Thursday night game that lived up to everybody's standard. How can that happen? We all knew that game was practically going to suck. And of course, it's a low-scoring game with a defensive touchdown, but the Bears did enough to hurt that defensive touchdown to where it really didn't mean anything. So that was the best part about that. Also, the best part of that was seeing D'Onta Foreman once again be dominant. People are talking about Herbert coming back, right? Like, that's good. He just adds another weapon to the game, but there's no reason to take these touches from D'Onta Foreman right now. He is hot. And if you want to win, which I know a lot of Bears fans don't want to win so they can get better draft picks and stuff, but if you want to win, then you need to ride this guy. He is an excellent bell cow. First, second down, get those yards, bring in Herbert for the third down swings, and then finish the drive out with Herbert, and then, the last boom when Foreman just goes running through that, man. One of our people a couple weeks ago said, Foreman is like a bull in a China like shop. Like, it literally, he's going to go smashing every single piece of Chinaware all over the place. And that's what he does when he explodes forward. He literally is a definition of a true back. And that doesn't mean that you take those touches away. So yes, I am making a point for my guy, because my guy came through. I wasn't going to play him last night, right? And I threw him in. Thank you, man. It's all good and sweet when you can pull a touchdown out in one of your seasonal leagues. Know what I'm talking about? But man, let's get to what this is. Tyreek Stevenson on my hard hits and cool picks article. I wrote up Tyreek Stevenson, right? 8% owned. And he actually, I only did 4 tackles, 1 pass defense, right? So he ended up with 3 tackles, 1 pass defense. That's not bad. I'm going to count that as one, because he didn't have just 1 pass defense. He had 2, because I was all over the X land and I was all over the FB land just to make sure that everybody knew that I was shouting Tyreek Stevenson of the Chicago Bears from the top of my lungs, that this man is in the right position at the right time. And it happened. He literally dropped an interception. And yes, I did play that bet, and I lost that bet with pleasure. Pleasure knowing that I picked a player once again, like I do every single week, because I'm the IDP hero. Oh, yeah. The American Pain Bringer. Heat Override. Tyreek Stevens. And then later in that game, he had another pass that he defended. And they can't say that. They went back and they played that clip of him defending that pass. I think it was the third down play. And he hit the ball. He had 2 pass defense. So the NFL needs to get up and correct their statistics, because Tyreek Stevenson balled out. The Bears balled out. Sweat looked dominant. When that team comes back and you have Sanborn coming in and out with TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds and Brisker and Gordon was all over the field. And all you people are like, Gordon, what is he talking about? Eric Gordon, the point guard, the shooting guard? No, Gordon. You'll see. You'll have to tune in next week. Oh, yeah. We'll do that. But before I get to my Macho pick of the week, I want to go back. To where this show started. All right. Because a lot of you might not know, but you will know. And this show first started out years and years and years ago, being my 200th episode, my bicentennial. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. And with that, I first started doing Bring the Pain in 60-second increments when Dr. Roto and Tommy G were on Sirius XM. Me and my wife, Chrissy Ray, 2A, was up in there every single day. And from midnight to 2 a.m., nothing but full shenanigans, fun stuff, dinosaur wars, and everything happened. But that's the past now. And what that did was that helped me start a relationship, a friendship with Dr. Roto. Dr. Roto had watched me and had talked to me, and we had laughs, and I called into many of his shows, always bringing the pain, always getting the 60 seconds. And one day I decided to do a podcast, and it was no other choice but to call it Bring the Pain. And that's why, and that is the inspiration behind my tattoo, because I have to be that. That is my life mantra. It may not be everybody else's life mantra, but their life mantra that means the most to you, all of my pain bringers, is that every single day you go 100. I hurt my knee in February, slipping on ice. And I was out of work, eventually laid off full time. 2 weeks later after that, Doc called me up and said, hey, I got an idea. We got to keep it under the wraps. So you got to keep your mouth shut, heat override. And I'm like, oh man, that's hard. That's hard. And you go back, I kind of threw some clues out there and everything like that. A lot of people did, because we were starting with some of the greatest people that I've associated myself with through the fantasy industry all these years in this group. And eventually it taught me, working with the editors, becoming a better writer, going deeper into my stats, listening to more games and watching, because we always watch football. That's what we've always done. So over 10 years before that, with Married with DFS, I gave out all my plays, all my stuff for free. And people would always give me their thanks and everything. But Doc called me and he said, hey, I would love it if you would just come on this journey with me. And there's been nothing but a better journey. The team that we have now and that we've had in the past has always did everything together. We've trash talked in our Doc staff league fantasy football. That just, we're in there every single time. And that's a hard league. And with injuries and like Lamar Jackson playing like a punk, oh man, if there's a guy that really needs to be Bring the Pain about, it's Lamar Jackson. But this is about Dr. Roto giving me that chance. He gave me that chance and he saw something in me. And with that, it helped me go even deeper into that. More stats, more things, and just trying to figure out the niche. And that's, of course, DFS baseball. And that's, of course, DFS football, seasonal football. But being an IDP expert also takes that extra commitment, and being that defense and making sure that I'm watching the games and seeing players other than just Stevenson missing out, hitting 2 balls that, he gets 2 pass defended. He was in the right position to make that interception. That's hard to predict. But guess what? When you watch enough film, when you know enough plays, when you watch these teams enough, you listen to them on the radio. They talk about things like that on the radio, explaining what they saw. And that's the things that I always relate and always talk about in all of my articles. And that starts and it begins with Dr. Roto and the staff that has stood behind me and my podcast. I can do nothing but thank Danger, Chris, Ted, everybody, Chris Kennedy now. We got so many Chris's, man. I mean, we could do a beer drinking contest if we really need to, but I'm not saying go do that. But it's just that. And just the everyday talking with our subs, that's the biggest thing. That really, everybody from Tano Ram to Primetime Player in the chat. Yeah, I'm hollering you out. I'll Bring the Pain. And Dilla, when we're in there talking IDP, and they throw numbers at me and they go, this corner is a week against this. They play this. And sometimes they are right. Sometimes my safer play, my borderline play may not be the upside that they're looking for. And that's what we come to a decision with. We talk in there. But so many times this season has an interception or a fumble or a pick six has happened out of these discussions. It's just amazing to actually have that interaction with the subs. And that's what you get when the subs only Discord at Dr. Roto. That's what you get. You get that relationship. I know that a lot of places and a lot of other companies have the same things that we do. Maybe not. But the one thing they don't have is the Mr. Heat override. Ooh, yeah. And I got to thank Dr. Roto and everybody around. I couldn't have done this. I couldn't have done that with my buddy Dave, my longest friend. He made my song, my Bring the Pain song. And every time that thing gets checked, ain't no one checking it. It's my song. And of course, this stems from Method Man, Bring the Pain. I come to bring the pain. Like that. And he's one of my favorite rappers. He's a top 5 rapper for me. But Bring the Pain comes from all that and for everything that I do. And plus, being an IDP expert and trying to come with the linebackers and hit people, the show sticks, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. So let's get to it. I just wanted to thank all my pain bringers. I want to thank every single person out there that listens, watches any of my podcasts on any streaming format at all. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's cheers to another 200. Look, drinking that pain drink. Yeah. Now,
let's get to the Macho pick of the week, the cream of the crop. What you come for? It's gonna be a little guy here. It's gonna be a cool guy.
It's gonna be Christian McCaffrey. I don't care what anybody says. Man, he's cheap on DraftKings right now. I will pay $92 for that guy all day long. Christian McCaffrey, right? If you go on FanDuel Sportbook right now, right, you get his 40 yards alt is a negative 420. You can go hit that. And his alt receptions plus 25 is a negative 180. Christian McCaffrey, if the 49ers have been on a slide, so danger, you know your team needs to get back to the slide out. They need to get back to who wins the game for them. It is Christian McCaffrey. If you parlay that together, you get a nice little parlay. But playing them as singles right now is the way to go. I did parlay it. I played both them as singles. We're gonna hit these bets. Christian McCaffrey is gonna score, and he's gonna be contrarian because so many people are gonna be still scared. They want a piece of the San Diego game, right? They want that game. They want all parts of that game in Detroit, and they want to get Amon St. Brown, and I mean, you get it. And that's why you need to tune into my ultra contrarian line show so that you can get my ultra contrarian, my very contrarian lineup. And that's how we do it. That's how we bring the pain. Get to the site, read up everything. Doc's Visionaries, Alicia's article just hit. I got to say thanks to all the staff. If I did not get your name out there, it doesn't matter. I got to say thanks to my wife. Thanks to my daughter for putting up with my crazy self every time when I'm doing these podcasts. They literally have to hear me do the podcast. So, they get enough of me talking anyway because I never shut up. And that's how we're going to bring the pain to the slice, everybody. Get ready for the Ultra Contrarian Show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. And always bring the pain. May the love, may the support, may the points be with you. Ooh, yeah.